Welcome back, students. So let's continue with our chapter acid, base and salt. And in that particular chapter, in the last videos, we have discussed about the different types of indicators which were used to identify between the acidic and basic nature. Okay, means if a substance has been given to you and you have to identify that substance is behaving like acid or basic, then we can use the indicators present there in order to express them. So there were different indicators were there as olfactory indicators which were in which we were using the smell of that particular substance in order to identify that the given substance was either a salt either a acid or either a basic. Okay, like this only there were more indicators such as for visual means which were changing their color when treated with basic or acidic medium. Okay, so we have seen their litmus paper, we have seen their China rose indicator, we have seen their red cabbage indicator. Okay, all these were some example which were giving different types of colors. So these all were naturals, these all were natural indicators, and some indicators which were made in the laboratories. Okay, some indicators which were made in laboratories such as phenolphthalein. Okay, and all these methyl orange. Okay, so phenolphthalein was no change, means phenolphthalein is a colorless liquid. So with acidic no change in color was seen there, but with the basic it was giving pink color. Okay, it was giving pink color from colorless to pink in basic medium. Similarly, methyl orange is orange in color. So with acidic substance it was giving dark red. Okay, it was converting to red color with acidic medium, and with basic medium it was converting to yellow color. With basic medium it was converting to yellow color. Like this only the litmus paper. Okay, so two colored litmus paper are there. One is blue litmus and another one is red litmus. So how these litmus papers are formed? These litmus papers are formed by using dye. Okay, they are formed by using dye. This dye is made up from the saprophytic organism that is known as lichens. Okay, from this particular lichens the dye is been, that particular natural dye is been extracted, and then this dye is water soluble. So it is been make a solution for this dye with the water, and that papers, a blue color paper and a red color paper is been dipped in this solution which absorbs this dye. Okay, that paper are generally filter papers, and then this red litmus and blue litmus are used for determining the acids and bases. So blue litmus is used for determining the acidic substance, and it converts the blue litmus into red color, while the red litmus are used to identify the basic substance, and it converts the color of red litmus paper to blue or purplish or like this in color. Okay, so these are litmus paper. Similarly, some more indicators such as we have used China rose indicator. So it was made from hibiscus flower. Okay, it was made from hibiscus flower. So hibiscus flower was let to be rest in a warm water for some time, then the pinkish color liquid has been formed out. Then if we are adding acidic substance in this, then the color will become more red. Okay, dark pink will be there, so it will be acidic. And if greenish color is obtained on adding the substance, then it is greenish color is obtained, then it is basic in nature. The substance which is added there is basic in nature. Okay, so all these were some of the indicators. These were the synthetic indicators, the phenolphthalein and the methyl orange, while the litmus and China rose are all the natural indicators which are obtained from natural substances. Red cabbage is also there. Okay, turmeric which we are using in our home for food purpose or for some other purpose as antiseptic or all these things. Turmeric is also used when we put acid in it. No change in color is there, means it remains yellow only, but when we put basic in it, then red color is obtained there. Okay, so these are some of the examples for your indicators which we have discussed in our previous videos also. So let's discuss now and move further for distinguishing the acids and bases on the basis of the power of hydrogen ions present in it. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the pH scale. So the definition of pH scale is the negative logarithm of H plus ion. Okay, negative logarithm of H plus ions in a solution. Negative logarithm of an H plus ion. This is known as the pH scale. Okay, so of a solution in moles per liter. Okay, in moles per liter is termed as pH value of solution. pH value of solution. So here one word I have used, that is logarithm. So let's talk about that first. So what logarithm is? Logarithm is generally denoted by this thing. So it generally has some base. Let the base be x here. Okay, the logarithms are defined on the basis of some bases or variables or some numbers. Okay, so let the base here be x. Then what is x here? Then x here, the log of x here. Okay, log of x for any constant or any number will be defining the power which is raised to this particular base. Okay, it means that the number which is constant here, it is raised to this power like this. Okay, we can say this. So hence the log gives the power of that particular number. It represents the exponent of that particular number. So let's say if I am saying that the logarithm base 10 for 1, it is always is equals to 0. Similarly, the log base 10 for 10, it is always is equals to 1. So you don't have to remember all this thing. I am just telling you for your knowledge only that what is log. Logarithm is nothing other than the base which is used to define a logarithm is that particular value which is whose value we have to find out by using this log, to which the number of which, the constant value of which we are going to find out the log, that particular value has been raised to the base there. Okay, so here what is based out there? 10 to the power 1 is based out there, so the value is 0. Similarly, 10 to the power 10 is based out there, so if the value becomes 1 like this, the values are taken out here. Okay, so we are going to find out the formula for our negative pH. Okay, the pH scale. Then it becomes pH is equals to minus log of H plus ions. Okay, minus log of H plus ions. So this is our pH scale. It means that the more the concentration of, means the value of H plus ion. Okay, the more the concentration of H plus ions in a solution, the more the substance is, acidic. Okay, while the lesser the concentration of H plus ion, the lesser the concentration of H plus ion, the lesser is, the more is basic characteristic. Okay, the more is basic characteristic. It defines our pH scale. Okay, so hence the more the concentration of H plus ion will be present out there, the more the substance which we are testing there on the basis of pH scale is acidic in nature. Similarly, the lesser the H plus ion concentration in our substance, then it is having lesser acidic character and more basic character there. Okay, so pH scale is defined to find out the acids and bases only, but here the way to find out the acids and bases are based on this particular mathematical expression. where we are using the pH scale is equals to minus of log base concentration of H plus ion in the given solution. Okay, so if I am going to make a pH scale here, okay, if I am going to make a pH scale here, then the maximum value, okay, the maximum value for your pH scale can be taken out from, let me show you a, as you can see here, I am showing you a picture here, which is the example for your pH scale. Okay, so the minimum value, for a pH scale is 0. This is the minimum value for pH scale, and the maximum value which we can obtain in pH scale is 14. Okay, the minimum value for pH scale is 0 and the maximum value which I can obtain is there is 14. Okay, so here you can see that the HCl acid, it is having this value of 0, which is the dangerous acid, which is present here. Okay, next in our stomach, the acid which is present, it is having the pH value of 1. Lemon, it is having the pH value of 2. Vinegar, it is having the pH value of 3. Wine, it is having the pH value of 4. Okay, coffee, it is having pH value of 5. 6. Milk, it is having pH value of 6. Water, it is having pH value of 7. Okay, similarly, when we are going from right to left, means we are coming from maximum to minimum, then the value of 14, the drain cleaners which we are using there, they are having the highest pH value, that is 14. Then the bleach powder which we are using for for decoloring our clothes or making our clothes more whitening, then that type of substances are having pH value of 13. Soap is having pH value of 12. Ammonia is having a pH value of 11. Okay, milk of magnesia, the antacids. Okay, we will talk about this in further classes. Okay, the antacids, they are also having the pH value of 9. Okay, baking soda, it is having baking soda which we use for making cakes and baking powder. Okay, they are having pH value of 9. The blood of ours is having pH value of 8. Okay, and we can see that water is in between from both these two values, means from the minimum value or from the maximum value. We can see that the water is in between, and it is termed as, the number 7 is termed as neutral in the pH scale. Okay, the number 7 is termed as neutral in our pH scale, while 0 is the minimum or most acidic, highly acidic. Okay, highly acidic. The 0 is termed as minimum or the highly acidic substances, and the 14 number is termed as highly basic nature. Okay, highly basic substances. So both highly acidic and highly basic substances are very much harmful for us, while the substances which are near to 7, they are known as neutral substance, and they are not as harmful as the highly acidic or highly basic substance. So we can see that the green color here comes till 5 and here till 8. We can see that here till the value, here the substances are means the substances between the 7 and 5, they are termed as weak acids. The substances which lie under the scale of 7 and 5, they are termed as weak acids. And similarly, the substances which are lying between the value of 7 and 9, okay, 7 and 9, they are termed as weak bases. Okay, they are termed as weak bases. After that, the substances which are present, they are termed as strong acids. They are strong acids and strong bases. Strong bases. Okay, they are termed as strong bases. So hence this is the pH scale. So using this pH scale, we can differentiate the different substances, and these colors which are present here, this is the color which we obtain in our litmus paper. If we are using good quality of litmus paper there, then according to this color of the obtained which by the litmus paper, we can easily find out which point we have reached in the pH scale, and that substance is a weak acid or strong acid or weak base or strong base. Okay, so this was the pH scale, and on the basis of pH scale, we can distinguish here. Strong acids, weak acids, neutral substances, weak bases, and strong bases. Okay, so this new classification has been found out for acidic and basic substances. We can now classify them on the basis of their nature, behavior on the pH scale. That if the number is between 4 to 0, then they are strong acids. Okay, and if it is between 7 to 3, then they are weak acids. If they are just near about 7, means 6 to 5. Okay, if the number is between like this, then they are a neutral substance. Similarly, if the number is between 6 to 9, then it is a weak base, and if it is more than 9 to 14, then it is termed as strong base. Okay, so on the basis of pH scale, we have defined this 4 new classifications. Okay, 4 and 5 new classifications for the substances: strong acid, weak acid, neutral, weak base, and strong base. Okay, so let's move further and see the use of pH scale in our daily life. How we can use pH scale in our daily life? So some examples I am going to cover in this video, and some we will see in our next video also. As it is a big topic, so whole of the topic cannot be covered in one single video, so we will try to cover it in different video also, in second video also. Okay, so first pH scale application in our daily life is related to our digestion. Okay, related to our digestion. So everybody must know about that. Digestion is the process of breaking down of food in our stomach. Breaking down of food in our stomach. Okay, this is the process of digestion. So for this particular thing, gastric acid, okay, gastric acid is required. Gastric acid is required, okay, which is present in our stomach. Gastric acid is required, which is present in our stomach. So the pH value for this gastric acid is near about I think so 1 or 2. Okay, it must be near about 1 or 2. Okay, so you can see that it is strong acid, as the number of pH scale is here is 1 or 2, between 1 or 2. So it means that the pH value is between 1 or 2. It means if the acid which is present in our stomach is gastric acid, is very much acidic, it is strong acid. Then if this acid is been secreted or it is been transferred to our esophagus, you know that esophagus, which is also called as food pipe, through which the food is been transferred to our stomach. If this acid is been taken to our esophagus, why this happens? Due to indigestion. Okay, due to indigestion. When we eat sometimes more, or our stomach is not good, our health is not good, then indigestion happens, and due to that reason, what happens? The amount of undigested food in our stomach increases, and due to this reason, the acid present in our stomach, it leaks out to esophagus or food pipe. Okay, it leaks out to the esophagus and food pipe. But in our stomach, a mucus lining is there. Okay, mucus substance is there, which protects our stomach from being getting damaged from the gastric acid present in our stomach. But our food pipe does not contain this mucus. Okay, so when the gastric acids or the gastric juices leaks out in our food pipe, okay, then what happens? We feel irritation there. And this irritation is termed as acidity. Okay, we call it as acidity. So hence, in order to stop this acidity, what happens after acidity? You will get blurbs. Okay, burps means dakar. Okay, in Hindi we call it as dakar. So we will have means gas will be releasing out from our body. Okay, many high amount of gas will be formed out there. So in order to release that, burps are there, and sometime also we will fart more. Okay, so all this thing will be there. So in order to stop this thing and to neutralize this acidity which is formed in our stomach, we have to use their antacids. Okay, we have to use their antacids. So before I have told you about the in the previous videos I have told you about the neutralization reaction. Okay, neutralization reaction. What was the neutralization reaction? When acids were treated with base, the salt was formed out there and water was given there. So salt was a neutral substance, na? And when acids and bases were reacting to form salt, then this process is known as neutralization process. So these antacids which are having basic nature is being added to our stomach in order to neutralize the acid which has been came to our esophagus and which has been formed in very much amount in our stomach. So after the antacids been added there, what will happen? The neutralization reaction will take place there, and the acidity which has been present in which has been produced in our stomach, it will decrease out there, and the irritation which we are feeling there, it will loosened up or it will be relieved of. Okay, we will get relief in the irritation which is caused due to that acidity. Okay, so different antacids which we can use. Some are home remedies also. For home remedy we can use baking powder, baking soda. Okay, very small amount of baking soda we can take as antacid, or some medicines are coming there. MgOH twice, milk of magnesia. This is known as milk of magnesia. Milk of magnesia. Okay, so milk of magnesia is nothing other than MgOH twice. So we can use this also for as antacids. Okay, so you have heard about some antacids, I think so. Digene is one of them. Okay, and one more ad is there in TV nowadays, that what is that name, that Eno, okay, etc. All these are some of the antacids which we can use for really getting relief in the acidity caused to our stomach due to overeating or any other stomach conditions. Okay, so this was the first use of our pH scale in our daily life. We will talk about more of this in the next video which I am going to discuss with you. Okay, and in that we will discuss more about the pH scale there which can be related to our daily life. So thank you for this video, for watching this video, and we will meet in our next class. Thank you.